Hi, my name's Daniel. Today I'll be talking to you about the book Miracles by C.S. Lewis. Clive Staples Lewis is most beloved for his works of the Chronicles of Narnia, but he also has a collection of philosophy books and a space trilogy. C.S. Lewis is one of my personal all-time favorite authors, and I was very excited to get this book, and now I can't wait to do a review with you guys. Can miracles really happen? In the day of scientific certainty, is it possible that there are things that we don't know and understand? In the book Miracles by C.S. Lewis, it seems as though there was a specific question in mind. Can miracles occur? Did Christian miracles really happen? Did the specific miracle of the resurrection of Christ actually occur? And C.S. Lewis took that question a few steps back to answer the basic underlying question. And he did this for good reason. He said, I'm not a historian. I'm not here to prove historical ideas or facts, but I am a philosopher. And before I can answer the question, or before you can answer the question, because he is writing this book to give the viewer tools to come up with their own thoughts and ideas, before you can answer, can this miracle happen or did that miracle happen, we must be able to answer the fundamental question, do miracles happen? Do miracles occur? Before we can even answer that question, we have to ask ourselves, what is a miracle? And C.S. Lewis defines a miracle as an interference with nature by a supernatural power. Philosophy books are often all over the place, trying to answer multiple questions at the same time with vague illusions of ideas, but Miracles by C.S. Lewis really just goes straight for it. He says, this is what I'm going to ask you, and this is what I will ask you to answer after I give you my evidences. He says, can miracles happen? A miracle is an interference with nature by a supernatural power. Can that occur? And then I will allow you to answer the question, did Christian miracles occur? C.S. Lewis makes it very clear that a miracle could not just be an anomaly. A statistical anomaly is not equivalent to a miracle, but only that interference with the supernatural within nature. So then he asks, is there a supernatural? Is nature or naturalism, as in everything came to be via natural methods, is that the reality that we live in? Is everything that we see today the byproduct of chance occurrences? Unless there is something outside of nature, i.e. the supernatural, there can be no miracles. Because if everything was simply an occurrence within nature, that would just be nature being nature. If everything simply followed the laws, then there would be nothing miraculous. C.S. Lewis asks, if our minds were created through natural selection, survival of the fittest, who is to say that our brains should be capable of seeking objective truth and rationalizing? If the end game is simply to stay alive, who says that our brains are capable of objective reasoning? C.S. Lewis insists that if we are to be capable of objective, rational thought, if we are capable of finding actual truths and not just personal, subjective truths, then it could only be because there is a designer who's created us to be able to find those truths. C.S. Lewis can see the scarlet thread of the designer painted throughout the universe. As we know, nothing spontaneously occurs, and so how did we get the universe if nothing ever comes from nothing? It's not acceptable to simply say, except for that one time where everything came from nothing. How can a universe last forever when we all know that all isolated systems are headed towards disorder? That systems only go from a state of order to disorder, constantly, consistently losing energy. So if we had an infinite past, we would already be at a state of thermal equilibrium and we wouldn't exist. In both a fun and illustrative manner, C.S. Lewis goes on to explain how a supernatural world could exist and what that would look like and how it could possibly interact with the natural world. What I think specifically sets this book apart is that C.S. Lewis puts the burden of reasoning on the reader. He says, here is what I have come to think over my life. Here are the evidences that I have for my beliefs. Now you take those, personally analyze them, and come to your own conclusion, hopefully using objective rationality and not just your personal opinion, of course. C.S. Lewis goes on to explain biblical miracles in a way that I have never seen before. He takes what some may call a mythological magic trick and makes it very tangible for the reader. If you can accept that there is more than naturalism, it is quite simple to accept supernaturalism, therefore accepting biblical miracles. C.S. Lewis makes reading enjoyable using very attainable illustrative analogies. C.S. Lewis really keeps me turning the pages, and I'll say that for his book Miracles, it definitely stands up with the rest of them. It's definitely a worthwhile read. I had a great time reading it. It's definitely something to pick your brain with. If you're willing to really think and not just reject every idea as soon as you get to it, which is the easier option, of course, it is absolutely an enjoyable, great time reading the book Miracles by C.S. Lewis. Well, I don't know about you, but I love reading books by C.S. Lewis. I got the whole box set for his philosophical collection, and I'm excited to go book through book reading it. If you want to see more videos about his philosophical books and maybe some of his fictional books in the future, please subscribe to my channel. If you enjoyed this video, if you got something out of it, if I made you think possibly, please hit the like button. I can't wait to do another book review. I hope that you all have an absolutely wonderful, fantastic day. Have a great day, guys.